Titanshead here, back to do another video review. This time I'm going to be reviewing Transformers Combiner Wars Cyclonus. Now this one kind of popped out of nowhere for me. When I first saw it, I thought just an extensive remold of Silverbolt, and I kind of didn't think of it. Then I saw a couple of reviews of it and thought, when I got some, better HD pictures of it, I thought, I might pick it up on discount. I ended up being at a comic shop a couple of days ago. One of the guys said, hey, I've got the Cyclonus figure here. Do you want it? And I figured, I'll go ahead and pick it up. I must admit, I'm very impressed by this figure. It is a lot better than I was expecting. Its vehicle mode is very much more reminiscent of the 1986 movie than the 2009 Cyclonus is. Which is... I love the 2009 Cyclonus. It is one of the best figures from that line in the Universe 2.0 series. I think this one is still just a little bit better just due to its vehicle mode accuracy. Yeah, obviously it has, since it's a remold of Silverbolt, it has nothing but, it's all the turbo mode underneath, but, who cares? The only problem I did have with the figure when I got it out of box, its tail fins were backwards. Like, we're pointing the other way, like a regular jet, basically. Luckily, they're not pinned in, they're just on friction joints. Just pop them off, spin them around, put them back on. You're done. You do also have a little bit of parts forming pieces, which are actually meant for the forearms in robot mode. I don't think this is horrifying. I usually, when I think a parts former is really bad, is when you're getting up to about 6 to 7 pieces taken off just to get to the robot mode and then put back on to get to robot mode. Then you got a problem. Or if more than 2/5 of the vehicle motor being removed to get to robot mode and then put back on. That's a parts former. Here, I don't care. So as I said, really cool vehicle mode. The only downside is he's still using the weapon from Silverbolt, only molded in gray plastic. Meh. If you've got the 2009 Cyclonus like I have, you can easily take his Target Master and just plug him right in on the first hole on the vehicle mode. The only thing of note is that on mine, there you go. Landing gear is a little stubborn to get out. But other than that, it's a pretty good toy all over. So he does transform exactly the same as Silverbolt, with just a tiny bit of parts forming as the main difference. Other than that, it is nearly identical. It's not the worst thing in the world. I must admit, it is probably one of the easier Transformers to transform coming out of the Generations line. Put the head up. Oh, I hope I have these on the right side. Okay, there you go. His robot mode. Now, you can have his wings out at an angle, but the problem is the shoulders kind of hit them when you move them around too much, and kind of knock them back like that. So yeah, I generally do just have to keep him back, because I kind of find that annoying. Oh well. You could give him this weapon. I do not bother. It's just a stupid weapon. For him, at least. For Silverbolt, it works fine. Wish they'd, if nothing else, had painted and molded this with orange plastic. If they had molded this with orange plastic, I wouldn't have complained at all. But this, unacceptable. You can give him his Target Master. Just be careful. That fist was not molded to hold this Target Master. The peg isn't really long enough, so just be really careful with it. If he falls, he's going to drop it, no matter what you do. So, as this is a remold of Silverbolt, he can convert into a torso. The torso of who, you might be asking? Well, of Galvatronus. This I found interesting. When we first heard about this, we were wondering, well, how does this work? Because most of these figures are supposed to be based off the current IDW comic books. And Cyclonus is not a combiner. He's actually one of the ancients of Cybertron in this iteration of Transformers, and is got a sword kind of similar to, at least I think he's got a sword similar to Drift's. So one of my running theories is, at least in my head, is that Galvatron is going to come from either the future or an alternate dimension with Combiner War tech disguised as Cyclonus. Because in the story for this figure, he can put under mind control any Combiner Transformer limb he wants, bring him in, and then forcefully transform them into a limb to serve for his Galvatronus body. That's awesome. So my running theory is that Galvatron disguised as Cyclonus has come from either the future or an alternate dimension with Combiner War tech and the ability to pretty much mind control, and also he zaps their energy at the same time. He can drain them of their energy as he's got them combined onto him. So that's pretty interesting. So like I said, I think this version is going to be from an alternate dimension, or an alternate dimension future, or just from the future in general, come back to wreak some kind of havoc during one of the stories, I'm sure. At least that's my running idea of how this works. Now, you do need to give him limbs, and right now I do have 3 dedicated limbs. Off-road, a spare dead end I have, Alpha Bravo, and I borrowed now I'm forgetting his name. Not Slingshot. Air Raid. That's better. Air Raid. To give him so he could be in his combiner mode. I am planning on getting another aerial bot to permanently have a permanent set just for him to make Galvatronus. So yeah. Now, I like that head design. I really do. It does need to be picked out in some paint or get some stickers, or both. Either way would do. And if you look at that chest, that kind of looks like a seeker chest, doesn't it? Just unpainted. One of my other theories is that this figure is going to get remolded as animated Starscream. Because you remember, animated Starscream had those wings pointing forward like these wings do. And that head kind of also looks like Starscream's crown, if you look at it the right way. So I got a feeling we might see this figure one more time as an animated Starscream, and him turning into like a Starscream Supreme. Well, just my theory at least. My only other thing I'd have to say, besides this weapon needs to be orange, is that a third-party company needs to come by, probably with maybe an upgrade set to give him his orange. Was it a fusion cannon still? Was Galvatron's cannon still a fusion cannon? I don't know. But to give him the orange fusion cannon, something else I think a third-party company could do, which I think would sell really well, I'd buy it, is instead of just making combiner limbs, like some people have been suggesting 4 sweeps that would turn into his limbs, which isn't a bad idea if Hasbro did it. If any third-party company did it, it'd probably be too expensive even for me. But if Hasbro did it, I'd probably get them. What I would suggest for a third-party company to do instead is just make dedicated limbs. They don't transform, they just look like Galvatron's limbs. Maybe some armor bits to fit on here to make him look more like Galvatron, and just give him arms and legs and the cannon to make him look like Galvatron. I think that would be awesome to do. And I guess the limbs could combine together in some kind of weapons platform station or something. But yeah, I would love to see a third-party company just to come along and give him regular limbs. They don't need to transform, just give him limbs that make him look more like Galvatron. But other than that, that is pretty cool. I have to say, if you're a fan of Cyclonus or Galvatron, this figure is definitely a get. If you're not, even so, I'd get them on, if you're getting a buy one, get one half price or something like that, I definitely would get him then. I don't think you should skip him at all. Try to get him at some point. If you have to get him on sale or something, go ahead. I do recommend grabbing this figure. Is he an absolute must-buy? Depends on what you like. If you've got the extra limbs and money, go for it. I think this is an awesome figure. Like I said, the only downside is this weapon. I am not going to bother with it anymore. I'm probably going to go put it in a baggie somewhere to be forever lost. So, until next time, this is Titan Zed saying I'll see ya when I see ya.